Hello everybody and welcome along to Hurstville Oval for the 2020 Cup match here this afternoon between Gordon and Newcastle. It's fairly hot here in the western suburbs of Sydney, probably nudging 27, 28 degrees. Real summer conditions, and it should be an absolute beauty between two of these sides, which I guess in many ways are going places. And of course this all culminates in the final in a few weeks' time at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Well, the toss has been decided and Gordon will be batting first, as we see now the Newcastle side coming out onto the oval and just going through a few paces. Well, big day for Bar TV to televise this match around Australia, and of course we couldn't do it solo. We've asked the Newcastle Herald journalist Josh Leeson, and he's kindly accepted our invitation here this afternoon. Good afternoon, Josh.
G'day, Pete. Nice to be here, mate.
Fairly warm, but you expect that. It's the summer of cricket.
Yeah, no, it's an absolutely gorgeous day for cricket. I just went out on the pitch before play started, and it's an absolute belter. A nice even cover of grass, but looked hard and fast, and I think there'll be plenty of runs scored today. In that outfield, that's absolutely beautiful. I certainly didn't get to play on grounds like that when I was playing cricket. It's just like a carpet out there. So
yeah, it looks good, doesn't it? Not a cloud in the sky. So as we mentioned, Gordon. What are you expecting, Josh, from Gordon today? I mean, as you mentioned, it's a hard, fast surface. Could be a few runs out there.
Yeah, I think looking at the pitch, you're probably going to want maybe 160 to 170 as a pass score today. I know, talking to the Newcastle guys before this weekend of the two matches I'm playing, Gordon and St George, they probably did rate their chances more highly against Gordon. I think St George are probably a better side, but you never know. I mean, it's a brand new world for Newcastle cricket. They haven't really played a lot of these teams before, so they'll probably go into this game a little bit unwise on what might happen. But hoping the bowling today is the Newcastle coach and player, of course, Mark Cameron, played a stack of New South Wales one day and Sheffield Shield cricket, and he'll know this. He'll know the conditions, and he'll probably know a lot about this Gordon side, even though he hasn't played sitting grade for a while. So here we go. The first ball, Mark Cameron.
Goes through to the wicketkeeper. Bombas on strike from Gordon, and up the other end it's Crawford.
Yeah, Reece Bombas and Tim Crawford.
Take the single. First runs on the board for Gordon. We might go through the Newcastle fielding side out there. In 4 we'll have Mark Littlewood, 12 is Pat Darwin, 13 is Joseph Price, Bailey McGill in 1, Mark Dries in 6, in 14 today, Mark Cameron, Sam Webster in 11. Did a bounce in the pitch.
Yeah, well, he's banged that in pretty short there, Scud, but called a wide, but fair call from the umpire. I think in T20 games there is certainly room to go for a couple of bounces here and there, but especially in the opening overs, he's probably trying to get the batsman on the back foot, doesn't want him coming forward too much, but still hasn't cranked up to full speed yet, Mark Cameron. Obviously doesn't bowl as quick as he used to, but can still let him go.
Into the gap. They'll look for 2. No, they just take the single. Just quickly going through the rest of the Newcastle squad.
Fielded there by Bailey McGill.
Nick Foster is in 8. Jeff Gannon in 10. And Ben Bulkham in 3. And of course, wicketkeeper as well.
Yeah, big raps on Ben Bulkham by Mark Cameron a couple of days ago. Rated him the best wicketkeeper in Newcastle cricket, which is a big call for a kid who's only 18. So yeah, bright future in the club for him, and I know he's already been sort of looked at in sort of junior New South Wales side. So I guess along with Bailey McGill and Jaden Parker, all on debut today. So big opportunity for those three.
Ben, welcome Hamilton Wickham Club from Newcastle for our viewers that may not be across the local Newcastle scene. It's a fairly balanced team as well. You know, you've got a few representing the Stockton Raymond Terrace Club in Nick Foster and Jeff Ganninan. A few representing Merriweather.
Good ball by Mark Cameron. He's beaten the bat there. Went close to the edge, but yeah, he certainly found a bit more pace that last delivery. Probably getting his rhythm now after the first over, but good start from Newcastle.
That's the end of the first over. Gordon, none for 5.
Yeah, my first time here, Pete, to Hurstville Oval. It's yeah, lovely ground, sort of a little bit of like Merriweather's Townsend Oval, the velodrome around it. But nice sort of small breeze coming in from the northeast, I suppose, which might assist maybe the spinners later on in Nick Foster and Jaden Park. And here we go. He's going to open with spin. Interesting option here from Mark Littlewood. He's handed the ball to off spinner Nick Foster, coming from the northern end of the field.
Crawford on strike, just working out his middle stump position. So the fielders are spread across the field, aren't they? There's a few deep down the northern end of the field.
He's got one at square leg, sort of a short fine leg. Another one coming in at mid wicket, and then 2 out in the boundary, one at sort of cow corner and one down at long mid on.
Just off the pad there.
It was a bit of a long hop to start, skidded on a bit, but yeah, probably should have put that away for some runs.
Look for one. Oh, he's hit. This could be a direct strike. He's out. Well, the first wicket has come in the second over, and a pinpoint strike. How good was that?
Yeah, Sam Webber, I believe that was, coming in at fine leg, picked the ball up. But yeah, it was probably a crazy run there. But yeah, great start from Newcastle. They were going to, you know, Sam Webber's one of those players in the team where, you know, he's great across the field. He can bowl and he can bat. He's perfect for T20 cricket, and he's off to a great start with a direct hit from probably 10 metres out.
Never an easy fielding position to get yourself in. I mean, the ball was going quick. He bent down, knew he had to strike the stumps, and that he did direct. You know, the wicketkeeper was there, but he didn't need the wicketkeeper. He went straight onto the stump. So Newcastle been able to strike the first wicket.
Well, I think that's what you need in T20 cricket, Pete. You need to take your half chances, and that's what Newcastle have done here to start. I mean, run-outs, yeah, they're always quite. It's always quite a bit of a lottery if you're going to hit it or not. But he's take the opportunity. Here's Foster again. Now, I was at training on Wednesday night watching a bit of Nick Foster bowl, and he was bowling quite flat that night. But today already he started to loop a few and toss them up a little bit, get a bit of drift. So yeah, it's a good start here from Nick Foster.
1 for 5. If you just tuned to the coverage, this is Bar TV. Peter Jolly and Newcastle Herald's sports journalist Josh Leeson. They asked the question.
Yeah, it's probably a bit high, that one, but yeah, it's changing his pace very well here, Nick Foster. A couple of little tossed up ones and a quicker one there too. So I mean, that's what you need in T20 cricket. I think you need to be changing your pace all the time as a spinner, because obviously this ground is not that big. It's
Oh, he's had a go, and that's the first 6 of the match. I think you'll find it is just cleared the grass. So a good start for Harry Evans for Gordon.
Yeah, I gave him the curse there, Nick Foster. I was wrapping him up his line and length, but then he dropped one short down leg side, and you can't bowl there if you're a spin bowler, and certainly not in T20 cricket. But the batsman still didn't get all of that. Evans probably only just cleared the boundary by a couple of centimetres, but I mean that's all you need to get 6 runs.
Cameron coming in for Newcastle.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
Nice
length.
line.
Just short of a length there, outside off stump. This pitch seems pretty true and nice and hard, so there should be a bit of pace there for the fast bowlers.
Crawford on strike. 2 runs off 5. Into the gap. That'll run away for 4. So we've seen a 6 and a 4 in the last few overs.
Yeah, probably just bowling a little bit too straight there, Mark Cameron. He's slid it onto his pads and well put away there by Crawford. Just whipped it over the top of mid-wicket and just beautifully put away.
Take the single on that occasion.
So leg by there, but good comeback there from Cameron. Hurried him up with a bit of extra pace.
So as Josh mentioned at the top, this competition is divided into the Thunder Conference and the Sixers Conference, and of course we'll get through the teams which make up both of those conference after this delivery. That's into the gap. Just short, going all the way. They get 2. And a good throw, Backy. So 1 for 16. Add another 2 onto that. The score now trickles along in the 3rd over. Gordon are out for 1 for 18. So yeah, the Thunder Conference, of course, that's made up of Fairfield, Liverpool, Bankstown, Blacktown side, the Hawkesbury, Sydney University. Oh, just wide.
What a second slip, yeah. It's you get that in T20 cricket. You got to play hard at the ball, and that'll pay off there for Gordon.
Take your chances, and that's what they did. Nice little nick there.
I think the way they'll approach Mark Cameron, because he's obviously the top bowler in the Newcastle lineup. If you can probably survive his 4 overs and pick a few runs here and there, you're probably doing pretty well. And they're doing that already, Gordon. It's been a great start by Evans and Crawford.
Evans on strike. Filled there by Jeff Glennon. So that's the end of that over. Gordon, 1 for 22.
I think we have 1 for 22 after 3 overs. I think Gordon would be pretty happy with that start. Good over there, with obviously a 4 and a 2, and then another 4 to sort of end. So, they probably have started well. I would have thought if you can get to 22, 20 runs after 3 overs, you're pretty happy in T20 cricket, and maybe kick on in these next couple of overs. I know talking to a lot of people about T20 cricket, they say that sort of you want to attack at 5 to 8 over area, and then you sort of come back on and attack again after 16 and sort of stabilise in between 8 and 16. So might see a bit of that today.
Of course, all the players in this competition, they'll be hoping that they'll be representing their local side come the 2nd of November. Of course, the grand final will be held at the Sydney Cricket Ground. So we'll see a series of double and triple headers. They'll be played over the course of the few weeks coming up, and played at local grounds like the one we're here at today, Hurstville. And the winner of each conference will be playing off in the grand final, as we said, at the SCG, the first Sunday of November. Just a few days before the Melbourne Cup. We won't forget that. Swing and a miss.
Sam Webber now replacing Nick Foster at the northern end of the ground. Now he's had a bit of a ongoing back complaint, Sam Webber. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to bowl as fast as he normally does, but he's probably the other big strike weapon in this Newcastle side. Good line and length.
Oh, he's had a crack at that. Oh, well fielded. Over there, the 12 cut it off. I think that was Pat.
Yeah, Pat Darwin.
Darwin,
very well the batsman.
The wide brim hat on.
Change of field here. They're bringing up the third man. He's coming into a sort of a, maybe like a fly slip sort of position.
So Crawford has another shot. He'll pick up one.
Yeah, it's got a deep point there. Good bit of captaincy there by Mark Littlewood. He just made the change and put the point down back on the boundary, and the next ball he hit it straight to him. He'll be taking that one after the game.
Scoreboard just going along at a steady pace. Oh, tried to cut that, but straight to the keeper.
Yeah, but seemed to cut back in a little bit, that one from Sam Webber. Yeah, and also a little bit quicker than the last couple, so yeah, good delivery. First time I've ever seen this Evans bat, Pete, but he looks like he's very strong on the offside.
Looking for the quick single. And they do achieve it. Live on the Newcastle Herald website. We're here this afternoon at Hurstville Oval. Newcastle Herald sports journalist Josh Leeson in the Bar TV commentary box. And a hot and humid afternoon here in Hurstville. Into the gap. Coming back for the second, and they do it easily. Nice placement there from Crawford. 7 runs so far. Was able to take his tally to 9 after coming back for the extra 2, so he's knocked up 9 off 11. Evans now will go on strike. 13 from 9. And that is the end of the 4th over here. And I guess, you know, a lot of people have been talking about this could well be a pathway for those involved, Josh, to be a part of the Big Bash as well down the track. You know, you get your experience here. Prove yourself, and you never know who may be watching as well. So they're definitely out to prove themselves individually, no doubt about that. And of course, you know, who wouldn't want to go through to the SCG and play there on final day? Be an absolute fantastic experience, one that you'd remember forever. With that new stand now going up at the Moore Park end of the ground. It's a fantastic cricket ground. This is a big shot. This could go over. It does. That's the second 6 of the afternoon, Josh Leeson. And now Gordon. Well, they're having a dig. They're having a go. 1 for 33.
Yeah, let's just change the bowl here at the southern end with Joe Price replacing Mark Cameron in his second ball. Yeah, Crawford, he's just lifted him over sort of long on. Yeah, great shot. A little bit slower. Joe Price had probably a chance to attack a bit more.
Here he goes again. Has he cleared the fence? He has cleared the fence. He's cleared the velodrome and the fence. 2 sixes in 2 consecutive balls. How good's this?
You just can't stray under the pads. He's very strong, Crawford, off these pads, and yeah, beautiful shot. Just cleared the square leg boundary. Just played through the ball. Didn't even seem like he hit it that hard. It was just all timing.
They've lost the ball in the bushes.
Oh, no, we got it back. It's all right.
We can relax.
But, yeah, especially with his velodrome, it's really going to take a lot of the shine off the ball pretty quickly if they've keep hitting sixes, cracking onto that hard surface. So, but yeah, he's got to hit back here, Joe Price, after going for consecutive sixes.
That's a fair hit here. Let's see if he can go for his third. No, takes the cautious option and gets the single. Brilliant over for Gordon. Score goes out for 1 for 40.
Yeah, Crawford now going to 22 runs off 14 deliveries, so yeah, he's certainly looking good. And got Evans at the other end now off 13 runs off 10 deliveries.
Price comes in. Slower ball into the gap. Coming back for the second. They could even go for 3. They're going to chance their arm and come back, and they make 3.
Yeah, that's good cricket from the Gordon pair. Wasn't a bad ball there by Joe Price. He tossed it up a little bit with the change of pace, but he squeezed it out through the gully region with a nice late cut and took a beautiful 3 runs. So it's what cricket's all about, especially this sort of form of the game. You really got to take every run you possibly can. So good running.
They have it again. This time, it's better than the previous. This goes all the way for 4. Gordon on fire here at Hurstville.
I think that's the shot of the morning so far. I think we had a couple of big sixes, but that was just a beautiful textbook late cut. So great cricket shot.
The end of the over, Gordon 1 for 47.
Yeah, so big over there for Gordon. Moved to 1 for 47, as Pete just said. 6 overs gone. I suppose with this sort of form of the game, you've got to identify which bowls in the opposition you're going to attack, and by the look of it, Gordon said about going after Joe Price, and I guess we'll see if Joe can come back and make amends in the second over, or if they change him.
Evans on strike. Through to the keeper. As you mentioned, very picturesque oval here in Hurstville. As Josh mentioned, along the same lines of Townsend Oval for our listeners back in Newcastle.
No disrespect to Merriweather faithful, but I'd say this ground's a tad
A
better.
lot better. The outfield, definitely. They might water it a little bit more here.
I don't think they play rugby league on here too, which helps.
Maybe just the odd AFL match, quite possibly. Oh, nice shot. Cut well, and over the boundary it goes for 4.
Yeah, just got a bit too wide there, Sam Webber, and he's gave him a bit of room, and he's cut it through the air, but was never going to be caught. And another 4 runs there to Evans. He moves to 20 off 14 balls. Gordon 1 for 51 in the 7th over.
So nice little partnership forming here between Evans and Crawford. Between them, 46 runs. Make that 47 after they get the single. That breeze, it's picked up in the last few moments, which will help the players, no doubt. Hot afternoon, still hovering, no doubt, around the 28, 29 degrees. This is, no doubt, the summer of cricket. This field here. They'll take 1.
Yeah, disappointing misfield there. That could have resulted in a second run out if he'd taken that cleanly.
So a lot of people are saying, this year's 2020 tournament, bigger and better. Teams from the Central Coast, Newcastle, Illawarra, the ACT, competing against, I think it's around 20 first grade sides all up. And for the first time, Central Coast, Josh, and correct me if I'm wrong, is at the ACT. It'll be their first time competing in the Sydney T20 competition. And it's begun. It's began.
Yeah, I think it's a great initiative, Pete. I mean, Newcastle Cricket, I know, had campaigned for quite a while to try and be included in this competition, and I think my understanding was a little bit of adversity from some Sydney clubs who didn't want to expand the comp beyond the Sydney metropolitan borders, but they have now, and I think it's great. I think in the past a lot of Newcastle's rep cricket was only played against other country areas, which obviously weren't at the same level as they are, but now they have that chance to compete against some of the top Sydney clubs, and especially for the young Newcastle cricketers, they now have this chance to be exposed to state selectors at these games and that sort of thing. So I think it's a great initiative, and one that's only going to be beneficial to Newcastle cricket and probably embraced by all Sydney clubs in the long run. Anyway, this is one of the young guys who has a big opportunity. It's Bailey McGill. Great bit of fielding there in the covers, but it was struck with some pace. So, as I was saying before, Bailey McGill, only 18, plays for Cardiff Boolaroo. He's already in the New South Wales under-18 side, and won a scholarship a couple of months ago too with New South Wales Cricket. So he's a great talent, probably more of a batsman than a bowler, but still a handy left-arm seamer.
Ian Beverley coming in. Picks it down now. They take the one. Yeah, so we've approached the 7th over. 55 runs on the board. And this is the 2020 from Hurstville Oval. That'll go all the way.
No, disappointing delivery there by McGill. Bowled down the leg side, and he's just flicked it away, helped it on its way down to fine leg. Yeah, it's going to be worrying here for Newcastle, because I think they've got obviously 9 wickets in hand. Gordon, if they can get to that 14-15 over with plenty of wickets in hand, they're really going to be able to tee off in the final over. So for Newcastle, I think the best way to bring down this run rate is of course, to take wickets.
Here comes McGill. Back to the keeper.
Yeah, well taken there by Ben Balcom. It was a difficult take. He's standing over the stumps, but interesting field now. They dropped a few out. Newcastle. There's one at deep long on, one at deep mid wicket on the velodrome, and another one at deep cover.
Pick up 2 on this occasion. The throw's a good one, right over the bails. Gordon now. 1 for 61. Crawford on strike, 34 from 20. While Evans up the non-receiving end on 22. As McGill continues.
Well fielded out there by Mark Cameron. Struck quite sweetly there by Crawford. He's been quite impressive in his 35 runs off 21 balls today.
So at the end of the 6th over, Gordon 1 for 62. Players just come together in the middle of the pitch. Evans and Crawford. Nice partnership building, Josh. You need this, and we've got it.
Well, I think, Newcastle desperately need to break this too, and they've turned back to their off spinner, Nick Foster, who started today in the 2nd over. So, yeah, probably tough time for a spinner to bowl, because while looking at the pitch today, it looked pretty flat. Didn't look like there was much in it for the spinners, but you can keep it tight. Maybe get a catch here on the boundary is probably their best chance, and trick these Gordon batsmen into a rash stroke.
Crawford looking around, surveying his options to know which way to knock it in. No runs came that time.
Well bowled there by Foster. He tossed it up a little bit and he had to check his shot there, the batsman.
And I guess, you know, playing in this elite competition as well, it'll go a long way in assisting New South Wales cricket on the whole as well. Not just your local district competitions across the state. They'll look for one. They get it. The bat there of Evans, so he goes along to 23 from 18.
Well, of course, I think the long-term goal for Newcastle cricket is probably to get a side in the T20 Big Bash. We'll talk about that more after this delivery.
That's high. That may have cleared the fence as well. It has.
Great shot by Tim Crawford. He's it's like his third six of the day. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's moved it down to 42 off 24 balls. Tried to toss it up a little bit there, Nick Foster, and but unfortunately for him, Crawford was up to the task and danced down beautifully down the wicket and struck cleanly through the ball.
Well, I think you'll find now this ball may have went over the fence and then under the wire fence and trickled out onto the road because the Newcastle player, he's just bent over and he's like, where has this gone? And he's just trying behind the side screen down there desperately to find the white ball. It's like, surely it hasn't gone trickling over onto the nearby road here. Well, it's an unusual situation where he's got to now find an exit point to the field and go search for the cricket ball. How? Well, you know, he's probably thinking, this can't be right. I'm a cricketer, I've got to go search for the ball. But it's all a part of the a part of the cricket.
Yeah, well, it's unfortunately this isn't the professional leagues. We don't have a big crowd and plenty of people to get the ball for you. So, yep, this is club cricket, mate. They a lot of the time, I've fished balls out of creeks and fallen in a creek once actually trying to get the ball out. So,
fallen in a creek. Where was this up? Up at Gunnedah?
No, I was playing cricket in Newcastle down at Wallsend Oval one day, just trying to fish a ball out. Was perched on the side and had a teammate holding my hand because it was down a steep embankment.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought it'd be funny to let me go, and into the drink I went. All of my whites head to toe. So anyway, we're back on. Nick Foster again.
He's going to have another crack. He wants to do exactly what he did only moments ago. This time, the fielder will have to go back out onto the road and have another search. Well, he knows where the exit point is to go search for this ball.
Oh, no,
look.
It's bounced off the fence this time, so wasn't so bad. But yeah, as a spin bowler, there's nothing worse than getting hit for repeat sixes. You just want that ball back in your hand immediately.
So Crawford, 48. Looking for his half century. And the way he's belting it around the park, you can put some good money on that he's going to easily make that. On his way to possibly 100. Who knows? Time will tell. Stay with us. You're on Bar TV here at Hurstville Oval. Gordon, 1 for 76. Yeah, I wouldn't have liked that dry cleaning bill when you ended up in that swamp. Drink the drink.
Oh, the old Nappy Sand Plus. It gets those
works
stains
wonders.
out. Yeah.
Double dose. Everybody be thinking, did Josh Leeson play on? I'm thinking you would have, went on and probably made 50. Were you a batter or a bowler, Josh?
Very, very boring batsman. Very boring opening batsman. More of a very, very stodgy.
Stodgy?
Very, very stodgy. I think sneaking through the gully was probably my best shot. But anyway.
Sneaky Leeson.
We'll talk about the decent cricketers here. Not myself.
We'll get back to that. We've got a long afternoon here in the commentary box. 4 or 5 hours. So plenty to get through. And of course, Bar TV. What a year it's been for the network. And of course now, the coverage of the 2020
award-winning network, I hear.
Lunatic Society Awards, yes. As they cut it down now. An award's an award. Digital Company of the Year. Tech Startup of the Year. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, we thought it was.
No, mate, you don't knock back an award.
No. We take them with open arms. Our producer, Josh Mason, his mantelpiece back home in Newcastle, certainly filling up. As we see now, McGill. A wide. It's called on that occasion. But Gordon still 1 for 78.
Yeah, only the second wide of today. I think there was one in the first over from Cameron with a bouncer, but it's the first wide since. And yeah, Newcastle's been pretty accurate with their bowling today mostly, but there's been some fine hitting from Gordon. I've been quite impressed by, especially Tim Crawford. He's been excellent. Here's Crawford. This will be cut off at 2. That'll bring up the half century for Tim Crawford, coming in off 27 balls.
Well deserved. Half century. As Josh mentioned, first half century in this match. And stay with us. Newcastle are up against St. George later this afternoon. Nice straight hit. Coming back for 2. And they're able to do it comfortably in the end. You know, those awards in Newcastle, fairly prestige. So everybody at Bar TV is absolutely delighted with what 2014 has been able to do, bringing live streaming to the viewers. Here's a chance. Taken. Mark Littlewood takes an easy catch. That's the second wicket of the afternoon for Gordon. 2 for 84.
Yeah, massive wicket there. Crawford out for 52 off 28 balls. They really needed his wicket because he was looking in fine form and obviously got stuck into Nick Foster over before. So, yeah, big wicket there from Bailey McGill. He'll take one for 16 in his after 10 deliveries. But, yeah, easy catch for just one of those balls where you sky the ball in the air and easy wicket. But great innings from Tim Crawford. He's really set this game up, I think, for Gordon now.
It was a wicket that needed to happen. And, of course, McGill representing Cardiff Bullaroo in the district cricket competition back home in Newcastle. One ball off the over remaining. I'll take one. And that's the end of the 9th over. Gordon, a wicket from it. They go along for 2 for 84. Back here at Hurstville Oval, Gordon going along nicely. 84 runs have come from the first 9 overs. That quick single. Execution was just a little bit off there from the arm of Pat Darwin. I think you'll find that may have been in the wide brim hat.
You've got the new batsman for Gordon. It's Steve Colley facing up. And umpire at the other end, I believe, is Ross McKim, a Newcastle umpire too. So great chance for him too to umpire at this level. And Mark Cameron's back in the attack, coming in from the northern end.
Given a what? Well, what's he given here? Well, yeah, too high over the top.
Yeah, he had a little bit of think about it there, Ross McKim, but in the end decided, yeah, it was and a fair call too, I believe. That was at this level in T20 cricket. Probably should be banging him in that short, but nice little welcome to the crease for Steve Colley from Mark Cameron.
Quick single.
Well run there by the Gordon pair. Take them along to 2 for 88 in the 10th over. So I think from this start, especially with only 2 wickets down, Gordon will be looking at maybe potentially 180 to 200, I'd say today.
Few tweets coming in from back home in Newcastle. Decent sized crowd gathering around their computer monitors and taking the coverage through the Newcastle Herald website. So 2 more deliveries left in the over. Mark Cameron is going away to collect the ball, as you can see there on screen. He's going away, looking at it, giving it a bit of a shine on the thigh as he comes back in. Whipped away. And taken.
Well taken by Bailey McGill.
Evans on his way back. He's able to notch up 27 from 24. But yeah, nice catch there.
Oh, but this is a big turnaround for Newcastle. Obviously, Gordon will going along very nicely there at 1 for 87. Now they've lost 2 wickets in 1 run, with both their established batsmen departing. So I mean, that's how you can turn these games around quickly with T20 cricket. A couple of wickets and suddenly the game can shift in momentum. So there's no better way to slow down the run rate than take wickets. So great work from Newcastle. But that was a good catch too. It was heading along pretty fast and was quite low down. And Bailey McGill, as we were saying before, he's only 18. It's a very big match for him. His first big T20 game for Newcastle, and took that as cool as a cucumber.
It's a pretty calm player, isn't he? You know, nothing much phases him. Caught a beauty.
No, he's got absolutely massive raps on Bailey McGill from some pretty highly established people in cricket, especially in Sydney. So he's certainly one to look for. I saw him score 100 last year for Cardiff against West at Harker Oval, and he was tremendous. He came in at a very tough time.
So Steve Colley comes to the crease for Gordon, wearing the number 6 on his back.
Had a little chat there, Scud, to new batsman Steve Colley, which is these fast bowlers. Even though he's got a few grey hairs these days, Mark Cameron, he still can fire up when the time comes. But he's pretty placid sort of bloke off the field. Very lovely guy, but still a fast bowler. And get on the pitch. I love firing up, especially when there's a batsman standing at the other end.
He's coming to get you. Merriweather too.
Yeah, he's a Western Suburbs junior, or New Lambton as they were called back then. But yeah, after a long state career, came back and joined Merriweather. Ali McGill, he's on a lot better line now. I think that catch and the wicket too. He's been in both. He's been involved in two of the dismissals of the 3. So yeah, I think that'll do his confidence a world of good. And after going for a few runs and he's opening over, he seems to have settled down now in his 3rd over, and his line of length's been pretty good.
Second delivery of the over. One run coming from that delivery. So we're pretty much midway through the first innings for Gordon. 89, yeah, not too bad.
Oh, I think it's a great
Great,
start.
yeah.
We'll talk after his next delivery.
They may look for 2 here. No. Well, that's credit to Newcastle in the field, isn't it? You know, they've been sharp.
They have been sharp, yeah. It was probably just 1 or 2 little misfields, but I mean, there's only been the 2 catches and one was quite easy. But yeah, they've looked sharp. They've cut off a few runs that could have been 2 and kept them at singles. So, I mean, sorry, that's what you've got to do at this level.
Here's McGill. They may well look for 2 here. They're coming back and they get it quite easily in the end. So they now go through to 3 wickets for 90. 11th over, 92 on the board.
But the new batsman, of course, is Richter, Elliot Richter, for the Gordon club. And well, look at it, they've seemed to have settled into a more of a sedate, trying to pick up the singles here. Maybe sort of stabilise the innings a bit.
Opens the shoulder blades and bangs that into the gap.
Well, the good news for Newcastle, certainly after some big overs there, when Nick Foster went for a couple of 6s, they've brought down the run rate, which is highly important at this stage of the game. So a couple more wickets and I'd say Newcastle could nearly be on top. But Gordon, if they can bat through this next couple of overs, they'll be on top. So important part of the game.
Quick single. They make it. So that's the end of the 10th over. Gordon 3 for 93. Well, the partnership, it's an early one. It's just began. 5 at the moment. Richter goes to 4 from 4. Collie has faced 4. Just been able to come up with the single run. So a few positional changes in the field. Hashtag Bar TV Sports. Get in contact with Josh Leeson in the commentary box. Of course, you'll be able to read about this match in tomorrow's Newcastle Herald.
Change of bowler to at the northern end. Newcastle captain Mark Littlewood has brought himself on.
Belmont. Coming back for 2. Need a good throw. The throw was good, but the run was just a little bit too quick, wasn't it, from Elliot Richter? He got home in the end. This is the replay. Well, just imagine the replay. You had the ball coming in. You had the batsman trying to beat the ball. And what has he been able to do? Beat the ball and got home. Oh, he could be stumped. No.
Oh, great little bit of keeping there by Ben Balkin. That was pretty wide down leg side, but he's had to go quite far to his left to catch the ball and bring it back. But I know it was a slower ball from Mark Littlewood, but he's not the slowest bowler in the world. So yeah, great little bit of glove work.
An extra here, yeah.
Well, we're just wrapping up their fielding, but that was a bit of a poor throw there by Pat Darwin. Didn't give his keeper much of a chance to pick that up, and so yeah, it cost him a run.
Steve Colley on strike, facing the northern end. Has a crack at this. We'll find just one. Didn't quite find the middle of the bat where he intended to build that. Pretty much out of the ground. I thought if that connected, gee, that would have went sailing past everyone. Couldn't quite do it. So Littlewood continues.
They haven't taken too many chances, these pair, Richter and Colley, so far. They've been pretty happy just to knock it around, get the twos and the ones. So it'll be interesting to see how long that continues.
Back in his crease, just in the nick of time there.
Yeah, well taken again by Balkan. He had those bails off within a split second. Well taken.
End of the over. Gordon, 3 for 99.
Yep, looks like Bailey McGill's going to come and have his, I think it'll be 4th over, so it'll finish him for today. So yeah, good to see that Captain Mark Littlewood and Coach Mark Cameron have shown plenty of faith in their young brigade. They're going to keep bowling him out because I think he's bowled quite well today, Bailey McGill, and he gives them that little bit of variety, being a left armour, coming across the right-hand batsman. Good bit of fielding.
Yeah, just makes it home.
There's Mark Littlewood there. Would have only been a stump length or two away from being direct hit then.
The first wicket of the afternoon. Indeed, was a run out.
Yeah, Sam Webber direct hit from short fine leg. Sorry.
So 3 for 100. Gordon in the 12th over. 12.2 to be exact. Here in the T20 Cup this afternoon here at Hurstville Oval. That's 4.
Beautiful shot. He smoked that through a wideish mid-off. Just picked the gap. There was plenty of fielders there, but he timed it beautifully and picked the gap as well. So yeah, great shot there by Colley. He moves to 12 off 11 balls.
Just an indication of the lightning surface here. Cut short, hot and dry pitch. Lightning outfield. Take the single. Three for 106 on the Bar TV Sports scoreboard. Stay with us. A big afternoon of 2020 cricket coming up.
And coming up next will be Bailey McGill's final ball of his 4 over spell. He's bowled quite well today, I thought. He's got 1 for 31 at the moment with final ball to come.
Holly straight down the ground, over the top, and 4 runs.
Yeah, well, I think he Mark Dry's the fielder there. He's misjudged that, because I think if he'd stayed where he was, he probably went straight down his throat. But he's come off the fence a little bit, and it's gone over his head.
Nice clean strike, wasn't it? Straight down the ground towards the commentary side here at Hurstville. Scoreboard, Richter out to 6. Collie 17 from 13 here as we go inside the 13th over here on the VAR TV scoreboard. Gordon 3 for 111. Seven overs remaining. Down the ground.
Yeah, the Newcastle captain, Mark Littlewood, bowling here. He has one of the better nicknames in Newcastle cricket, Splinter.
Good old Splinter. How did he get that?
Littlewood.
Littlewood. It's a given.
I'll let you work that one out.
Thanks, Josh. Josh Leeson. In the box. Do you have to take your own photographs today, or we've got a freelancer here for the Herald?
Yeah, I'm going to use my iPhone from out here. Yeah.
Multimedia skilled. Got to be.
No.
Nice shot. Down to the... will it go over the... no, cut off. They come back for 2. Diving his way to cut off that.
Yeah, well, it looked like I think Nick Foster out there, I think. Was there well fielded there on the deep cover boundary. But, every run you save, that's another run you don't have to get. I won't be stopping that one though. That's gone over the fence into the Bill O'Reilly sideboard.
Yeah.
Sight screen, I should say. Sorry.
Straight over.
My cricket
Tell
terminology,
you what,
right?
they've spent a bit of money on this ground. Look at the scoreboard. Very, advanced digital scoreboard. Probably one of the best in... Oh, he nearly takes the catch. He's out. How talk about luck. We'll take it though. That is a replay and a half. Have a look at Mark Littlewood. Thought for a moment would have been a catch and bowl. Got fingertip control to it. And then all of a sudden, the batsman up the other end. Who was it? Was it Collie?
Yeah, with Collie, yeah, because Richter was on strike.
Was out of his crease. Hit his fingers onto the stumps. Goodbye for now. On his way back to the pavilion. 4 for 121.
Geez, as a batsman, I don't think there's a way that is more annoying to get out than that right there, because especially for Steve Collie, he was playing quite nicely and hitting the ball well, and yeah, to get out like that, it's a terrible, it's a filthy way to get out. But
the only way to learn, I guess, as well.
Well, in this sort of cricket, you got to back up a long way.
Chance,
so,
yeah.
But yeah, a bit of luck there for Newcastle and for Mark Littlewood. But he'll take it. He probably would have rather the catch, but he'll get the run out. It'll help with the sting of those hands after a drop and a catch. There's nothing worse, but probably won't hurt as much now with a little run out. So 4 for 121, Gordon, with a new batsman at the crease. It's Axel Kalen.
I'll take one. 4 for 122. With Kalen now on strike. Well, Richter 16 from 12. 4 for 122 as we're midway through the 13th over here at Hurstville. Hashtag Bar TV Sports Interactive 2020. That's what we like to call it. We can only be interactive with the interactive audience. That's a given, and let's now get in touch with our Twitter followers. Actually, we'll do that in the next few overs. And of course now just Newcastle just having a bit of a chat to one another, the 4 and the 6 in Mark Littlewood and Mark Dries, just saying, guys.
Yeah, Mark Dries is going to come into the attack for the first time today. Bowls a little pretty sharpish medium pace. Not sure, it looks like he's going off the shorter run today, so I'm not sure, maybe he's going to maybe one of an injury problem that he's carrying.
From the Hamilton Wickham local club in Newcastle. Here he comes now.
Yeah, Mark Dries has been a great cricketer in Newcastle cricket for a long time. Played a lot of New South Wales country cricket. Yeah, he's played one premierships with a few different clubs. Been at Stockton.
Well fielded. Nice piece of cricket.
Yeah, they've been sharp, Newcastle, in their fielding today. There's Joe Price there, I believe. But I know that they've done a lot of work on this T20 format this year. A lot of more specialised training.
Pick up the single.
Probably trying to bowl a Yorker here. Yorkers predominantly Mark Dries, but over pitching a bit. A couple of full tosses to start.
T20, the short form of cricket. It's been all around for quite some time now. We'll get back to this after this delivery. Well fielded. Bit of aggression. Always good to see from a bowler. Giving it back to the batsman. And in this case it was Richter on strike. But Richter returns serve and knocks it out of the park for 6.
Yeah, tremendous pull shot there. He's bowled mostly full tosses, and I was wondering when they were going to finally pounce, because Richter had been quite sedate in the way he was hitting them around. But then Dries is obviously over pitch a little bit more, full toss around hip height, and beautiful pull shot over the top of square leg. But terrible delivery. You can't bowl a ball like that at this level and expect not to be going for 6 or 4. So, but still got to be good enough to take it. And Gordon, they'll enjoy that. That takes them to 4 for 130. And as we go into the 15th over. Sorry, that was the 15th over. My apologies.
Pretty much this is the 11th year of 2020 on the world scale. The first official 2020 match was played, when was it? Back on the 13th of June, 2003, I think it was, over there in the English county. That was the first season of 2020 in England. And I know Andrew Johns was over there at the time, and he said this was the competition to watch out for, and wasn't he right? Because the first match was between Surrey Lions. They defeated the Warwickshire Bears by 9 wickets in the final to claim the title on that match. And of course, the home of cricket. Nice placement, they'll take 1. The home of cricket, Lords, just our historians out there who follow this type of cricket. First match was held there in 2004 between Middlesex and Surrey, and that attracted a massive crowd for Lords. It was the highest attendance for any county cricket game at the ground, other than a one-day final, since 1953. They pulled in over 28,000 to Lords. And then the spread of 2020 just went on from there. And the appeal on a worldwide scale, it's there. And it's live between, in front of our very own eyes here today at Hurstville Oval. Quick single, and they make it home. And then, of course, we've had World Cups, haven't we? And it's been an absolute phenomenon in the game of cricket. And, of course, it's been 22 years since the one-day World Cup tournament was last in Australia. Of course, that was back in 1992 at the MCG, the final. Nice shot down the ground. Will it go all the way? Well fielded back there. Tapped on, and the ball hits the stump. They'll look for one, and they get it.
Yeah, wonderful fielding there. It was well struck there by Richter, straight down the ground. But I mean, that's what you got to do at this level. You just got to cut off those boundaries and keep the runs down, because when they're on the chase, Newcastle will be wanting to restrict them as much less as possible, because every run they got to get. It's going to be tough today, because I think this Gordon side's quite a well balanced bowling unit. That's the end of the 16th over there. Gordon 4 for 137. So I think they're really going to have to start to make a push here. I suppose at this stage I'd still say that they could probably get to 180. It's really going to depend on how well they can go in these next couple of overs. If Newcastle can bowl good lines and restrict them, but as we've seen, the boundaries aren't that big here, and the outfield's fast. So and the pitch is very true. So if you can hit through the ball cleanly, there's plenty of runs to be made.
Of course, these players hoping to go on to represent their state. And then on to... That could be out. It is taken in the slip position. So Gordon, 5th wicket down. Scoreline 137 for 5.
Yeah, catch there by Joe Price, but was quite easy in the end. Went straight to him. Mark Dries, after probably a disappointing first over, he bowled a lot of full tosses. He's got his line and length right then. And yeah, Richter was trying to play through the ball, and he's edged it straight to probably what is kind of a wideish, maybe a second or third slip there for Joe Price. And Richter departs for 27 off 19 balls. Gordon 5 for 137.
This is it on the Bar TV replay. With a wild leash.
Yeah, he took his top hand off the bat there, and he lost control of it, and that's probably what resulted in that catch actually. So but yeah, good comeback there from Mark Dries, because yeah, as we were saying before, his first over was pretty ordinary, but he's come back, and Captain Littlewood has shown a bit of faith and stuck by him to keep him on for a second over, and he's come up trumps.
Ian Beverley making his way now out onto the field. The number 1 for Gordon will be
left-handed batsman.
Yeah,
so
left-hander.
First one I've seen today.
Will be on strike. Dries to continue from the southern end of Hurstville Oval. 17th over.
Littlewood's just adjusting his field here. He's moved around to a sort of a deep front of square, I suppose, and a deep wicket. Yeah, no rule protection there, close in on the leg side, so there's an easy single each time there for Gordon. Obviously, Littlewood's decided that keeping the boundaries down at this point of the game is more important than giving Gordon an easy single. Yeah, well bowled by Dries. Kalen, he's been here for 6 balls now, and he's only made 3 runs. He really has to start going, I think. We're in the 17th over now, so...
Plays it down the ground.
Yeah, he's really fixed up his line and length here, Mark Dries, after that first over. He's been on the money each ball in his second over.
2 to go. Coming back, are they? They thought for a moment they may have been able to get away with it, but they thought, no, we better take the safer approach.
Yeah, the old man Scotty still got it. Still got it.
Still got it.
Moving around quite nicely. Good arm. Straight over the stumps.
Not a bad effort. Last ball of the over. Just another single to finish off the 16th over as we go inside the 17th over now. Gordon 5 for 141.
Yeah, it's been a great effort by Newcastle in the last 4 or 5 overs. I mean, probably at that 11th over mark, we were probably looking at maybe a 180, I thought, at the time. But Gordon have really been pulled back here, and Newcastle could possibly keep him to under 170 if they can bowl well in these final 3 overs. So it's been a good comeback. Sam Webber coming back in the attack. I think this might be his 3rd over. So they might bowl him out here in the final 3.
Just the single. Just on the international scene, I can't get over the fact that it was 2006, I think it was 2006, when Australia played their first 2020 fixture up at the Gabba against South Africa in the first 2020. Just seems like the other day, nearly 8 years ago up there. And of course, nearly 40,000 people packed into the Gabba. Oh, here we go. He thought for a 1, but he said, come on. But no.
Just noticed there, Pete, when Sam Webber was going back to his bowling mark, you can see a sign there at the northern end, which has Sir Donald Bradman there with where legends are made, of course, Hurstville Oval, and St George is the home club of Don Bradman.
And of course, a few months ago, you went down too. You checked out a few of the cricket establishments along the way down to Canberra.
Yeah, I went into Canberra to see my sister, and she lives down there now, and popped in at the Bradman Museum, which is excellent. If you're a cricket nut like me, you'll love it.
It's not like I'm stalking you or anything. Here's the 1 single. And the score goes on for 5 for 143. In the 17th over, 2 balls remaining. Big shout.
Yeah, that was a great ball there by Sam Webber. He's from looking at live, looked like he bowled a bit of a leg cutter there, slowed it right down, and hit on the pad. I'm not sure, a bit hard to tell where we are if it was in line, but good change of pace, and especially when they're any dot balls or singles at this point of the game, it's what you need.
That's the replay. And back here, that's the end of the 17th over. Gordon 5 for 144. Well, just a little bit of history here on the ground that we're at here. It was opened back in 1911. Since there, there's been a few tenants along the way. Josh, the St George Dragons. Of course, they played in the New South Wales Rugby League competition back then between, I think it was 1921 and 24. And then, of course, the Sydney grade competition featuring the St George Cricket Club have been on since 1921 to where we are today presently. And pretty much a multi-use sporting ground here in the southern suburbs of Sydney. And it's been a multi-use venue over the years as well. We're seeing cricket, rugby league, a bit of cycling, a bit of football. It also has a velodrome around the perimeter of the ground, and nearly 113 years old. Not in bad shape. I'd like to be okay in that shape for 113. Is the ball just... They get the single.
And Mark Cameron back in the attack for his final over. His figures today have been 3 overs, 1 for 17. So I'm guessing that Sam Webber will probably bowl the last over now because he was quite impressive in that last over. Only 4 runs off it in the 18th over, which is you can keep a team of 4 runs off and over in T20 cricket in the 18th over. It's a good effort. So really tightening screws here in Newcastle. I think Gordon, considering where they were pretty disappointed with this.
Well bowled.
A slow ball there from Scud.
Yeah, an interesting fact. I mean, just breaking away, I didn't realise that this was the home ground of the St George Dragons before they moved to Earl Park. I think it was back in 1925. And then, of course, not going too far away from where we are now, just down the corner and around to Cogra Oval from 1950s. If he hits, he's gone. Misses, he's in. Pick up a few extras, they come back. So 2 runs to the total of Gordon there.
Yeah, it's the danger. I guess the gamble you take at this sort of late juncture in a match. Do you go for the run out, or do you just try and make sure you don't give away an extra run? But obviously Pat Darwin, he picked it up well then and had a shy at the stumps, but was pretty close, but did cost the team an extra run. Well bowled by Cameron. Squared Beverly up a little bit there. Nice bit of pace.
Beverly moves to 5 from 9 deliveries. Full toss. Could be close if he hits. Oh, just misses. So close, yet so far on that occasion.
He's having a chat again, Cameron. Have a little chat there to Beverly. Welcome to the crease, welcome to the game. How are you doing? What'd you do last night? What'd you watch? All that sort of stuff. They're pretty friendly fast bowlers.
Yeah. Swing and a miss.
Great conversationalists.
Fast bowlers.
Wicketkeepers are pretty good too.
Saying that, you love your batsman. Good for a chat. Good for a yarn in the Newcastle Morning Herald.
Yeah,
Loves the batsman. Yeah. Have a go at that. Into the gap. That's 4. Well, they needed to do something, and they have. So the scoreboard now reads Gordon 5 for 149. Plus the 4 brings it to 153. Well, they need to have a go.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that's they've really tightened the screws, Newcastle, in the last few overs, but Mark Cameron, his final ball with Axel Kalin, one of the best names in local cricket, you'd have to say, Axel Kalin. He's cracked it away with a bit of a sort of a pull shot off the front foot over the top of mid-wicket. But last over here, Sam Webber bowling to Beverly. I'd say at this point, Gordon would be targeting 170. We'll see if Newcastle can keep him below 160.
Beverly is a man in the deep. Takes the catch. Right out there on the fence.
Yeah, Mark Dry's there with the catch. It would straight down his throat. Beverly
goes back to the pavilion. 6 runs from 10. Gordon 5 for 153. This is how it happened on the replay. Nice camera work there by Sharton Waite.
Yeah, I mean, a comfortable catch at this level, but you still got to take him. And Mark Dries, he looked very assured taking that catch. And I suppose more importantly, in the final over of this game, it's a dot ball. So dot balls are like gold in the 20th over of T20 cricket. So Newcastle will be ecstatic with that If they get a few more wickets, they'll certainly really rub it in.
Beverley, swing and a miss. Straight to the keeper.
And another dot ball for Newcastle.
And that's what they want.
But yeah, it's tough as a new batsman coming out at this point and having to go straight away. So Newcastle, Sam Webber can keep it accurate.
This could be close.
Yes.
He's gone. Another wicket for Newcastle. Gordon in all sorts of trouble here at Hurstville. That's their 7th down for 153.
Oh yeah, it's the second direct hit to Pete for the day from Sam Webber. He's fielded that off his own bowling and underarmed it into the stumps. Probably an easier effort than his first one, but still to bowl and then pick it up and knock the stumps off. Great work. And again, another dot ball. That's 3 dot balls in the 20th over. So,
and this is the wicket.
Nice work by Sam Webber. I mean, you've quick off the mark. He outbeat the batsman to the ball with his pace, and then picked it up with his right hand and underarmed it while diving. So, I mean, it takes a lot of athleticism to be able to do that.
Especially in these hot conditions too. Sweltering out there. Mid-30s. Full toss. Into the gap. 1 run. 7 for 154. 2 balls to go.
New batsman at the crease, Charlie Stobo. Off the mark with a single. Axel Kalen on strike to Sam Webber.
Bowled him! Knocks him over. Straight through him. They tried to open it up. Couldn't quite go out of the park. Instead, it finds the middle stump.
Yeah, I think Sam Webber's really cashing in now on some good work leading up to his final over. They've really brought down the run rate and put a lot of pressure on Gordon. Have had to go and cashing in now with another wicket. But bowling stump to stump, which is what you need to do at this level.
Here's the replay. Middle stump. Does it come any better than that?
Yeah, well, when you get to this point, it's pretty hard not to. You obviously got to go for it. You got to play your shots and really try and hit 6s and 4s. So when you bowl stump to stump, there's nothing going to hit. If you don't hit it, it's the stumps and you're out. So yeah, great bowling by Sam Webb, and this has been a fantastic over. Only 1 run from it, and 3 wickets now. Runner and a bowled and a catch. So Newcastle really. They're going to be pretty happy with keeping Gordon to 8 for 154 now with only 2 balls remaining in this match, this inning, sorry.
Not long to go, as Josh just mentioned. That's Kennedy.
James Kennedy, the new batsman.
Yep.
But yeah, very difficult to come out here and try and hit a 4 on a 6.
Through to the keeper. If he hits, just wide. Just a quick calculation on the run there. Averaging 7.7 per over. So it's I wouldn't say it's an easy task, but it's a task that they could easily rack up Newcastle on this Fard-Haas pitch. So they'll need to come out firing, and we know they're capable of that. So that is the end of the innings for Gordon. So 156 is the target, with an average run rate of 7.7 for Newcastle.
Newcastle will be ecstatic with that, I think, Pete. Especially at one point, I think, from memory, it was about up to 11th over. They were 1 for 100 and something, weren't they? 106 or so. So to come back and restrict them to 155 is a great effort from the bowlers. Sam Webber, Mark Dryers, I thought bowled great. So did Bailey McGill and Mark Littlewood. Really tightened the screws there. And the fielding was fantastic too. I mean, I dropped one tough catch, which ended up being a run out anyway, and took the rest of their chances, and also cut off a lot of runs in the outfield with some good ground fielding. So I think Mark Littlewood and Mark Cameron and co will all be very happy with that effort from their team. And I'd say they've still obviously got to get the runs, which is no easy task, but they've certainly got the conditions in their favour. It's a good pitch, it's a good outfield. There's plenty of runs to be made, and I'd say just going on the conditions that Gordon probably scored about 30 runs below par.
Yeah, fair call there, Josh. As you can see now, the Eric Johnson Memorial scoreboard just showing the top run scorer, second from the top in Tim Crawford, knocking up a solid 52. Richter and Evans notching up 27 as well. And then the tail, well, a little bit scrappy, wasn't it? 6 from Beverley. Soper run out there by Webber for a duck. And not much to make of that tail of the players there for Gordon. So 156 is the total. 20 overs to do it in at a run rate of around 7.7 per over. So what we might do, we might just take a quick short break and come back here for the innings of Newcastle here at Hurstville Oval. You're watching Bar TV Sports live from Hurstville Oval. It's 2020 here, and it's great to be here with Josh Leeson and Bar TV for the cricket. It's summer, don't we love it? Back here for the run chase at Hurstville Oval. Hunt on strike for Newcastle. And Dries up the other end. Hunt making his way to 4 runs from the first over. So it's around 7 and over.
7.7, I think it was.
Yeah.
Or 7.76 and over. So I mean, it's very gettable on this ground. I think it's a very fast outfield, and the pitch is very true. So we've got Charlie Stobo hoping the bowling for Gordon. Looks pretty sharp for a young fella. Good tall high action. Getting a bit of lift off the pitch already too. But yeah, great shot to start the game from Greg Hunt. Cover drive to the boundary, classic cricket shot, and of all the Newcastle players, Greg Hunt would feel the most familiar today because he spent about 3 or 4 years playing for St George, and this was his home ground.
Fielded out there by Cullen, Axel. So that's the end of the first over here for Gordon with the ball. It's
Still thought you'd
none
done
for 7. I thought I was back at Harker Oval there. How hard is it to get those sort of little things out of your head? Maybe not so hard for some, but for Mr. Jolly, doesn't come that quite easy, Josh. But anyway, none for 7. Newcastle, 7 runs from their first over. On their way for 156 for victory. And of course, it's been big 2 days for Bar TV. We had the NRC yesterday out at Pertex Stadium between the Rams and Melbourne. Melbourne undefeated going into the finals. Back here, Newcastle hoping to go through to the final at the SCG on the 2nd of November. So we haven't got too far to go, have we? A few weeks. And of course, the race that stops the nation on the first Tuesday in November. We'll come to Josh shortly about that. He likes a punt. Not really. Here's the little ball into the punt. Oh, hits the stumps. There's one on that occasion.
Yeah, bowling from the northern end is Chad Soper. Airs look pretty good so far. Not awfully sharp, but just yeah, it seems to move it around a little bit.
It's a fairly green wicket, but the shots are coming, that is for sure. So on strike will be Dries, Mark Dries from Hamilton Wickham.
It'll be interesting to see how Newcastle approach this run chase. I mean, do they go pretty hard early, or maybe because it isn't a massive run chase, but so you'd probably want to keep a few wickets in hand. So maybe they'll go out, and knock around the singles, the twos, and allow sort of their big hitters like your Joe Prices and Sam Webbers to really attack in those middle overs. Slash it over the top of cover there, Mark Dries, and it's gone away to the boundary. But Soper gave him a little bit of width that time, and he obliged with a beautiful cut shot over the top point.
First boundary.
Yeah, first scoring shot for Mark Dries now too. Moves to 4 off 3 balls.
Nice way to do it. So, Soper continuing from the northern end. Charged him, tried to put ball onto bat. Didn't quite go the way he planned it. Mark Dries went through to the keeper. Of course, the keeper's Ian Beverley.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Looks like he's certainly answering our question, Mark Dries, and how Newcastle want to approach this run chase. He's he's made an aggressive start, showing plenty of intent.
Just the 1 run. So that's the end of the second over. None for 13.
I think the breeze has picked up a bit since the change of innings too, Pete. Sort of strengthened from, I think, a nor'easter. Not sure how it's going to affect anyone, but it's certainly cooled things down a little bit somewhat, so I'll make it a little bit easier in the field for Gordon. But bowling into the breeze again for his second over will be Stobo. He's got the Justin Bieber haircut.
Good old Justin Bieber. Not many places that you can go in the world and get away from a Justin Bieber look-alike.
Yeah, I'm going to have to move to Mars, get away from him. I'm not much of a believer, or whatever they call it, Pete.
Believer in the Bieber?
Yeah, not at all.
Maybe we would have to go further away than Mars. Maybe you'd be up there. Maybe an alien would have a Bieber haircut. Believer in the aliens? No. Just on that, a few UFO sightings are claimed on Twitter overnight in the Cronulla Shire.
Todd Carney out in the drink again.
Yeah, trying to get away from everybody, but they're onto him. Just like you were there. Best sports journalist in Newcastle. What's the word? Unraveling or whatever you want to call it. The myths of Todd Carney. Gee, he pops up everywhere, doesn't he? Good old Todd.
Stobo in again.
Swing in the miss.
Yeah, he's looked good on the front foot so far, Greg Hunt, but some of his back foot shots, he's sort of can't quite find his timing yet. I'm sure it'll come, but I know talking to him during the week, he was really excited about coming back and playing at Hurstville Oval. The next game, of course, is against his old club, St George. So he was doing a bit of reconnaissance for Mark Cameron during the week, trying to find out a little bit of information about his former teammates and coming up with a few little plans. So interesting to see what he does.
Hunt knocks it into the gap and it goes all the way to the fence for 4.
Yeah, good shot there. He gave himself a little bit of room and charged the bowler and lifted it up over sort of a wideish mid-off. But yeah, a bit of risk there, but in T20 cricket you got to take that. And but as it was a risk, it was also quite a calculated shot and well executed in the end.
Hunt on strike. Or may have got a little bit of ball to bat, possibly.
Yeah, I know, leg buys.
Leg buys.
But yeah, Stobo drifting down the leg side and made to pay with 4 runs. Won't hurt his own figures, but will go against the total. And when you're defending 155 with a run rate of only 7.8. A T20 game, you've got to really be on the money. You can't be giving away easy runs by drifting down leg side.
Four more.
Beautiful shot by Hunt. We were saying before he'd struggled a little bit to get his pull shot going, but he had no worries then. Stobo again dropping too short and down the leg side, and well dispatched by Hunt. He pivoted well there on the back foot and swiveled it around and put it away to sort of a backward square leg.
So Hunt travels along to 16 from 12. Dries. About to come back on strike. 6 from 6 so far. Newcastle chasing down 155, 156 for victory. Down to third man.
Stobo down there at third man. Yeah, Chad Soper in for his second over, but yeah, he tried that shot last over too, Mark Dries, and got a boundary, but this time obviously the Gordon captain has woken up to that and put a fielder down there at third man and kept it to a single.
Hunt facing.
change of pace there by Soper. Ran his fingers over the seam there and held it up a little bit. Kept it to a dot ball.
In his second over, Soper had been able to knock 7 runs from his 1.2 deliveries. Dot ball. So stay with us. After this match, we've got our second fixture of the afternoon, St George versus Newcastle. That game will immediately follow this fixture between Gordon and Newcastle. Good shot, 4 runs. Hunt on fire for Newcastle.
Yeah, poor delivery there by Soper. He's again dropped short, down leg side, but you've got to be good enough to put it away. And Greg Hunt has been again. It's his second shot with a pull, second four with a pull shot, and 3rd boundary overall. And he moves to 20 runs off 15 balls. Newcastle none for 31.
Cut off.
Yeah, well, good fielding by Stobo on the boundary. I'll still get 2 though. Greg Hunt really starting to open up the shoulders now, playing a few more aggressive strokes with a slash outside off stump. Nice.
Check the replay out here, Josh. Look at this. This is the slash and go down there. Nice fielded. Look at that. Never easy. Backed his ability there. Back to live pitches and into the gap again. Coming back for the second. Newcastle looking the goods after 4 overs, 33 runs, and Hunt goes along to 24 from 17, dries 7 from 7. So required run rate 7.56, and at the moment they're easily outdoing that. So that's the end of the 4th over. Chasing 156 for victory. One of 2 matches here this afternoon for Newcastle. Hurstville Oval, well, we're just checking the barometer. Still hovering around 28, 29 degrees, but a nice breeze coming across the ground, taking the heat off spectators and everybody that is in here to witness this 2020 Cup. As we see now, Kennedy continuing.
Change of bowler here. James Kennedy, left armour, coming on.
Coming from the southern end.
Yeah, replacing Charlie Stobo, who bowled here the first over of the game, and also some tremendous fielding there on the boundary last over, saving a boundary. But,
So Mark Dries from Hamilton Wickham facing James Kennedy. Over the top. 3rd man got to go away. 1 bounce, collects it nicely. There's 1 run. Hunt up to 24 now. On the striker's end. Kennedy in his first over, as Josh mentioned.
Yeah, the wind's really starting to pick up now, and Kennedy bowling straight into that breeze. Yeah, well bowled. Hunt trying to squeeze it out through point and gully, but no single there. Only got 2 out at the moment, which is due to obviously the fielding restrictions, but 1 on the deep square leg boundary and another at 3rd man. But so plenty of runs through the covers or mid-wicket region for Newcastle if they can beat the inner sanctum of the field.
Here comes Kennedy. Full toss, just shy and going down to the fence. Will it go all the way? It does. 4 more for Newcastle. And now it's none for 40. How tall is their bowler? Gee, got to be close to 7 foot. Bit more?
I don't know about that, mate. maybe 6'4" or so, but yeah.
Reminds me of the good old Brisbane Bronco in years gone by. Remember Paul Hoff?
Oh, yeah.
Lanky, tall, sort of. Couldn't bowl like this, though. Out. Gone. First wicket for first wicket for Gordon. Newcastle. Well, they trying their best, weren't they? They were trying to get this run rate up quick, but unfortunately couldn't quite go the way Hunt wanted it to. So he's on his way back to the pavilion for 28. And Newcastle have their first loss of the afternoon. It's 1 for 40.
Great little cameo by Greg Hunt. I'd be disappointed he didn't kick on because he was looking excellent. Played some beautiful pull shots on a couple of occasions, and also a couple of cover drives. But he was disappointed with that shot. It wasn't the greatest of balls. It was just on a foolish ball on his leg stump, and he's just flicked it in the air to the mid-wicket fielder for an easy catch. Probably should have kept it on the ground, or even went harder at it and tried to get it to clear the inner field and go for a boundary. But so I think Greg Hunt will be disappointed that couldn't make more of that start. But Newcastle still have started well in the 5th over. They'll be 1 for 40, chasing Gordon's 155.
So Pat Darwin, local club, Merriweather, comes out onto the pitch.
Yeah, Pat Darwin's another one who's played a lot of Sydney grade cricket. He came from Sydney originally, came to Newcastle a couple of years ago. He's played Australian under-19 cricket. So he's a quality batsman. I'd have him in probably the top 3 or 4 in Newcastle. So.
Feeling his way out in the middle of the crease. So that's the end of the 4th over. Newcastle 1 for 40.
Good over there by James Kennedy. Probably reminds me a little bit of a Bruce Reid. Tall, lanky left-hander. But nice high action. Change of bowl here at the northern end. It'll be Elliot Richter. Looking at these run-up, might be a little bit of off spin, or maybe just some slow mediums. But interesting way they've ends they're using the bowls from, because with the breeze from the northern end, you would have thought that Kennedy would have bowled with the breeze, being a quick, but Richter's going to bowl with the breeze. Smashed through the covers by Mark Dries. Beautiful shot. Beat the short cover. Couldn't stop that. It was too much on it. Not your classic cover drive, but he stepped away and gave himself a little bit of room, Pete, and opened up the shoulders.
And that's resulted in the boundary. So Dries taking his total to 12 from 10. Darwin up the other end, looking to get his run scoring efforts underway. Will they come back for 2? In the end, it was a simple equation. Bit of a misfield out there in the deep. And 2 runs to Dries. Takes his total now to 14. And just on a bit of information that we have been handed. Into the gap. 4 more. Newcastle giving Gordon a lesson of cricket.
Well, there's a poor delivery there at low, full toss outside off stump. That's just money for jam for Mark Dries. He's just put that away like any player of his ability should. And with this outfield, really, you don't have to hit them too hard and they go all the way. Yeah, better ball there by Richter. He slowed it right down and 4 strides onto the front foot. 1 for 50 Newcastle in the 6th over. They'll be happy with this. A good start by Dries and Hunt.
I'll take one. Newcastle now. 1 for 51. One more ball remaining in the 5th over. Darwin on strike, just looking around at his opposition's field placements. Just wondering where the ball will go here. Goes straight, cut off. So that is the end of the 5th over. Newcastle 1 for 51. So yeah, just getting back to the information that we were given a few moments ago. Each KFC T20 Big Bash League team has 6 supplementary spots available on their roster, and selections will be, I guess, crucial given the ability this season to replace international players. So as long as, their injured players may possibly come from those conference lists, as you said there, Josh. So, I guess this new T20 tournament represents a very clear pathway for those involved to be part of the bigger bash. And we'll go through the 2 conference teams for our viewers that may be new to the coverage shortly. And we'll give a breakdown of who plays for what and how they'll all come together for the finals series. Newcastle is in the Sixers conference, along with Illawarra and Eastern Suburbs, Randwick, Mossman, Gordon, North Sydney. Good shot, down to the 3rd man, goes away, looking for 2, they come back. The throw, nice, just short of the stumps there.
2 more to Dries, takes him to do 21 off 15. Been a great start for Mark Dries. Just getting back to that, Pete, actually Mark Littlewood, the Newcastle captain, earned a supplementary contract with the Thunder last year.
Full toss. They pick up 1.
Never actually got to play a game, but did go down to training and got to be a part of their their game day build up and that sort of thing, and be on the sideline throughout the game. So great opportunity for him. And
so the pathways, they're definitely there.
Yeah, certainly. So I'm not sure how much these games in particular will count towards it, but certainly a chance to showcase your skills.
He's given him. Newcastle.
Well, geez. Bit of a controversial decision. I would have thought he was a long way down the wicket and hit him pretty high, but
well, Darwin out for a duck.
Yeah, I'd like to have another look at that one, because to me, that looked very, very high. Probably was in line. Here we go. We'll look at it again. Kennedy coming in. Well, maybe, sorry, on a second look, it maybe did hit him a bit lower than I first thought. So maybe not such a bad decision.
Well, there he goes, back to the pavilion.
Do we have Hawkeye here, Pete? You get Hawkeye up?
We tried today, but we'll save that for next week. Once we figure out how to use it, we'll get that. Well, there's plenty of things that you can bring to cricket, and I'm sure Bart too. Just have a look at our logo. That's what you call initiation. Look at that. We've changed it to a cricket bat. Just check that out. Gone are the days. That's how you know what sport Bar TV's covering. The steed and threads through the cricket bat. Good old cricket bat. Lovely work.
It's fantastic what I think what Bar TV is doing for local sport with its coverage of the real NRL and local rugby union, National Premier League soccer in Northern New South Wales, hockey,
Mate,
now the cricket.
I don't know.
Something I've missed. Unis games,
University
surfing.
games, surfing, AFL,
yes.
BDAFL, Black Diamond.
So yeah, it's a great opportunity. I mean, a lot of these sports in the past probably struggled to get any sort of media exposure by the local newspaper. Short one there from Kennedy goes to the keeper. New batsman out there is Sam Webber from Hamwicks. Now viewers who haven't seen much of Sam Webber before, he's very much the attacking mindset player. Does love to go big, and will go big often. Probably, best suited to this sort of form of cricket. I think he could have went. I think he'd been 10 years younger. He could have really went far in T20 cricket because he's probably the most naturally gifted player in Newcastle cricket.
Webber down the ground, just short.
Yeah, didn't get quite hold of that ball, but you could see what his idea was to go long down the ground. But he'll take a single.
And Tim Crawford, Gordon managed to come around and cut it off. The breeze picks up a few more notches here, coming across the ground from the east.
He's moved to around the wicket. Kennedy coming in, left armour.
Drives straight down, field there, just inside the circle. Speaking of Tim Crawford, he was the one that was able to cut it off. So that's the end of the 6th over. Newcastle now 2 for 56.
Quite evenly placed the match at this point. I think that second wicket sort of really got Gordon back in the game after a good start from Newcastle, but I think this next partnership is going to be vital for Newcastle if Dries and Webber can stay together for another 40, 30 runs and do it in good time. The way that Webber plays, if he does get a few runs, it will come quickly. Could really turn the game in Newcastle's favour, but in the other way, if Gordon are able to dismiss him quickly, and Dries as well, who's looking great, they'll certainly be on top. So big couple of overs coming up.
And speaking of the big bash and all that, how many years off do you think the city of Newcastle could be until we see that type of competition played up there? Are we still talking 5 minimum?
Well, the major stumbling block really is a venue. At the moment, we don't have a cricket ground that's capable of holding an event like that. Number one sports ground, its amenities are quite outdated and really couldn't you really need a venue that can host a 20,000+ crowd, really. The leg spinner on now. Josh Paulson. Yeah, this is going to be quite interesting because being a leg spinner, they can be either game breakers or for either side. I think if he goes for a few runs here, bowls a few long hops, Newcastle can cash in. But at the same token, leggies do get wickets, especially if you can get a little bit of turn here. But I think Sam Webber's his eyes all light up when he sees him come on.
Okay. Webber on strike, facing Poisden. Just short.
And you won't be happy with that shot there, Webber. He had plenty of room to pick, and he's nearly picked out the fielder. But a bit of a long hop there by Poisson. In the field, he's got one at sort of a deep point. He's got one on the boundary at mid-off and mid-on, and then two on the boundary on the leg side, and square leg and sort of a squarish below leg. Yeah, well bowled by Poisson. Got that up. Nice bit of drift and curl. Tough art being a leggy Pete, but it's got some nice shape on it. Nice action.
Of course, too, he's bowling into the breeze.
A little quicker one.
Yeah. He's in two minds, isn't he? Dries, whether to take him on or just sort him out first. And he's like, take the approach of just figuring out which way this ball is going, and then I might built you around the park. But so far, a conscious effort. Dries.
Yeah, well bowled again. Impressed, Pete, by this young Paulson leg spinner. He's got some really good control and some nice variation, which is vital for a leg spinner. You really need to be coming up with different balls all the time, because otherwise you become too easy to pick, and a batsman can quickly move his feet and dispatch you. But yeah, he's changing his line and lengths and his pace quite well.
Weber on strike.
Probably lucky he got a little under edge on that, because if he didn't, it might have been LBW there. Yeah, good over from Paulson.
Newcastle 2 for 59. The end of the 7th over as we approach the 8th over here. So the required run rate just gone up a little bit from 7 to 8. 8.08 to be on the mark. Target 155. 156 for victory.
Off the open, Charlie Stobo's coming back into the attack. His first 2 overs went for 16 runs.
Just making sure now his field's in position the way he would like to see it. Just coming across now to have a little bit of a chat. Having a yarn there to Harry Evan. Stovo coming in southern end. They'll get one. Dries moves to 26 from 22 deliveries. Weber 2 from 4. He'll now be on strike. Stoppo comes in again. Weber. Just getting an understanding of where to have his ball placements. He's looking around, isn't he? As you can see from the camera down on the boundary line. Stovo continues. Slower ball. Get through him. That's a wide. Wide. 2 for 61 here in the 8th over. It's the breeze now turning into more of a gust. As Stovo continuing. Full toss. Pelted away. That's 4. Straight through the gap and hits the fence. 4 more to Newcastle. So 2 for 65.
Yeah, you can't bowl wide full tosses to Sam Weber. He'll dispatch you every time. But yeah, you still crack that right along the ground through the covers. Good shot. Newcastle 2 for 65.
Weber taps it. Charging, yeah.
Good comeback there by Charlie Stobo. He adjusted his line a bit and slowed it down.
So Stobo has been fairly costly in his approaching the end of his 3rd over. Been able to notch up 23 off his arm. Rise, bit of an inside edge, wide of the stumps. So, score still remains 2 wickets down for 67. Dries 27, 23, whilst Weber is going ball to ball, isn't he? 7 runs from 7 deliveries. Stobo coming up the hill.
Hasn't quite middle that one there, Weber.
Coming back for 2, and they do it. Quite easily in the end.
He's tried to go a couple of times now down the ground, but hasn't quite got out of the middle yet. But you know, it will come, I think. But I'll be pretty happy with containing to 9 runs off 8 balls so far. But 9 overs gone. Newcastle 2 for 69. Plenty of batting to come. Of course, Littlewood, Bailey McGill, Jeff Kinninan, all very handy batsmen. Joe Price as well. Joe Price is a very talented T20 cricketer.
Of course, can't forget the coaching and the management team from Newcastle as well. Shane Burley, Mark Cameron, and Steve Taylor. Into the air. Could be there.
It's gone.
Third wicket. Third wicket falls for Newcastle. 3 for 69.
Well deserved by Josh Poyston. He's been great. His first over, he bowled a lot of control and variation. And that time, I think he sort of tempted Mark Dries into a rash shot by a little ball outside off stump, and he's sliced it, gone straight down the throat of the deep cover.
And this is how it unfolded.
Yes, that probably got beaten by the turn a little bit there. Was trying to probably hit it more down the mid-off, and he sliced it. It's gone down a sort of a deep point.
That was the wicket. Gordon needed. Dries. Sent back to the pavilion for 27 from 24. So good innings. Got them pretty much to where Newcastle is at the moment. 69 runs was the fall of the third wicket here in the 9th over of the first delivery inside the 9th. So the required run rate just ticking up slightly. Nothing to be concerned about. Pretty much halfway through, aren't they, to get their required runs for victory. As we see now, Weber on strike for Newcastle.
With the new batsman on strike now, it's the captain, Mark Littlewood.
Belmont. Mark Littlewood.
Yeah, going to be difficult for Littlewood here because young Josh Poyston is bowling with a lot of control. And yeah, really giving the ball a rip, so he's going to have to be quite mindful in the first couple of deliveries.
Nice shot. That's 4. Well, his first touch. Ball from bat. Bat from ball. 4 runs.
First time in a little while that Poyston sort of drifted down the leg side, and he's yeah, Littlewood, just beautiful feet movement, got down early and swept him right on the carpet all the way. We'll watch it here on the replay. Yeah, textbook sweep there. Great shot. Good comeback there by Poyston. He tossed it up again, ran off stump. But Littlewood knocking away for a single. They'll move to 5 off 2 deliveries. Newcastle 3 for 75 on the 10th over.
Weber. Coming down the track. Runs coming from...
Looked like it was a wrong in there, but over pitched a little bit, so didn't really get a chance to turn. But yeah, he's got all the bag of tricks, this young fella. Good bowler.
Into the gap. Nice work, nice placement. 1 run comes. So Newcastle, after the 9th over here at Hurstville Oval, 3 for 76, travelling along nicely as we approach the midway point. 10 overs been in motion, 10 remain. Target 155. And don't forget the second match of the afternoon coming up. The home side, St. George against Newcastle. And thanks for tuning in wherever you might be clicking on to Bar TV's coverage of the 2020 cricket, whether that's through Bar TV's homepage on YouTube or via the Newcastle Herald. Ooh, swing and a miss.
Elliot Richter back in the back into the attack, coming from the southern end. He was bowling from the northern end in his first spell, which went for 11 runs. Now back in his second over, so hopefully he might be able to bowl a little bit better with the into the breeze.
First bowl of the
it must
10th.
Must have been a little inside edge there, because the umpire was signaling a run, and looking at that live, it looked like it would have been a very close to LBW if he hadn't got any bat on it. But obviously a little snick there from Weber, which may have saved him.
For our lovers of cricket, big summer of national cricket on our doorstep. Test matches get underway shortly on the national stage, the one-dayers, and then the big one-day World Cup starting in February. 8 weeks of cricket between Australia and New Zealand. The nations hosting the 2014 One-Day World Cup. 22 years since the last time Australia and New Zealand jointly hosted the Cricket One-Day World Cup. Get your tickets for that one. It's going to be an absolute brilliant series, as they always are, the Cricket World Cups. Have you got your tickets yet, Josh? They're still in...
Maybe I might apply for a media pass.
Yeah, it's the cheapest way. Just find out the media woman. Write it off, Newcastle Herald. We'll save you about $300 a ticket. I was staggered to know. $350 roughly for a ticket for the final of the World Cup. Nice placement down to the third man. They'll take one. That's pretty much one of the cheapest tickets going around as well. But it's one of those events, I guess, you know, you just got to be there to witness that and tell your mates in 20 odd years' time that you were there 20 odd years ago.
More of a, probably more of a Test cricket fan myself. Yeah, I know one-day cricket for me sort of lost a little bit of its luster. But I think, yeah, probably T20 cricket's probably taking over a little bit for it's sort of you know, the market that one-day cricket once held. But to me, Test cricket is still the ultimate. The pinnacle of cricket. Nothing's better than the Ashes, or even a series against South Africa and India are always good too. So yeah, the Indians are coming out this summer playing 4 Test series, so I think that'll be pretty good. Obviously got some good quality up-and-coming batsmen in their team like Virat Kohli and Sharma, and yeah, they're always tough to beat. But in Australian conditions, I think the Aussies will get there. Stobo again, he's been whipped away to the square leg boundary for 4 by Weber. He'll take Newcastle to 3 for 83.
And Weber 17 from 15 in the 11th over. That is, I guess, on my bucket list to go to, you know, the West Indies, even India, and watch the Aussies take on the locals. Just a fantastic cultural
I've got next year's Ashes on my bucket list. I'm hoping to go over there with the bride.
With the bride?
Yeah, she's keen.
She's keen?
She loves cricket. So
Match made in heaven.
So hello, Hayley, if you're out there watching today.
You're off to the Ashes, Hayley. Start figuring out. Josh is saying probably about 20,000 for the whole trip. She's just collapsed. Here's the smash. Oh, that's going to go down and hit the fence for 4. Newcastle. Well, I think you could say in control, but we know how quickly wickets can fall in this competition. 3 for 88 here at Hurstville Oval.
Yeah, Stobo went for a bit of a bump, a little bit of intimidation, but he's dragged it down leg side and was an easy one to hook away in the end for Littlewood. Probably didn't want to hit it that fine, but in the end, turned out perfectly for him, and he moves to 10 off 6 balls.
Quick running between wickets.
Yeah, that's I think the problem here with Gordon, that they're bowling okay, but every over they're giving away a four ball, at least 1 or 2, and with Littlewood and Webber at the crease, they're too good. They're always going to take full advantage of any of those sort of wide deliveries, which Littlewood did a few moments ago. So if they're going to tie them back here, they've got to get some wickets and they've got to stop those 4 balls. Oh, he's dropped that, and that was a catch, I think. Pretty sure it was either a glove or a little snick.
Could hear the snick, couldn't you?
So it's a bad miss there for Gordon, with Webber let off the hook, and he'll get 2 to go to 20 off 17 balls. We'll have a look at the replay in a minute. It's coming up right now. Oh, he's dropped that. That was a catch, I think. Pretty sure. Yeah, definitely a glove, I think. So a bad miss.
That's going, gone.
Just to rub a little bit more salt in the wounds. Webber has dispatched it over the mid-wicket for 6, and that'll really annoy the bowler. Nothing worse than when you get a catch dropped off your bowling, the next ball, batsman then hit you over the fence.
Takes a while to regroup. Smacked it, didn't he? Didn't that ball have some height as well? Absolutely punished it out of the park.
He's bowled 2 short all spell for mine, Stobo. He's gone for 44 runs off his 4 overs, so 11 and over. He'll be disappointed with that, and yeah, just I think too many short balls. And it's Richter back on from the southern end.
Bit of an edge. They take 1. So 3 for 97. Newcastle in the 12th over, chasing down 155 for victory.
Yeah, I think the next 4 overs are going to determine this game. If Newcastle can keep on the way they've batted for the last couple of overs, I think they'll get home. If not, it could be Gordon.
First ball is the second ball, should say, from the 12th over. So the required run rate hovering around the 7.57 mark. So Webber about to face Richter. Webber goes to 26 from 19. Down the ground. Way there to field is James Kennedy for Gordon. So Littlewood back on strike. As Newcastle only a run away from hitting the 100 mark. And Littlewood.
Good chance here.
Oh, if that hit, he would have been out. Long way out. Didn't eventuate. So Newcastle 3 for 100 in the 12th over.
He got a favourable bounce there, the fielder. It sort of jumped right into his hands, but couldn't quite hit the stumps. But I think it surprised Littlewood. I don't think he thought it was going to be that tight. Yeah, just to the right of the stumps.
Webber opens the shoulder blades. The ball between two Gordon players out there. One of them was Bombas. They make one.
Yeah, nice bit of bowling there by Richter. I think he got a bit unlucky that Webber mishit that one, but he picked the two fielders in the outfield perfectly. Otherwise, he might have been caught because the pace of that delivery beat him in flight. Oh, on an edge, straight through gully. That's 4 runs. That'll hurt the bowler because I think he was bowling quite well into that delivery. But 4 runs to Sam Webber. He moves to 33 off 22. Newcastle 3 for 106.
A nice partnership opening up between these two. Partnership of 37. So that's what you need. You'll be looking to get this over as quickly as possible here, I'd say.
Yeah, the run rate's come down a little bit too. It was getting up to high 8s, nearly 9, but now it's back down to 7.14.
So Littlewood there just going down the crease to sweep away a bit of.
Harry Evans coming on for a bowl from the northern end for Gordon.
Gee.
Interesting action.
Interesting action.
Brilliant.
Sam Webber up the other end. He wanted a quick single, but Littlewood told him, no, go back. Go back. Dangerous. We don't want anything to come of this partnership that we've been building towards. Littlewood goes fine. The third man coming back for one. They do it quite easily. The scoreboard just going along at a nice pace. We're into the 13th over. This is the third ball coming up. Webber shoots up to 33 from 22. Littlewood 14 from 11. Evans continues. Nice throw in there from Steve Collery, number 6 for Gordon. So Richter, previous bowler, 3 overs for 23. So not as tight, I don't think, as he would have expected. As they hit a downfield for 1.
Yeah, well bowled by Evans. Probably a good little move to bring him on. It seems today in the Gordon innings, whenever they've had their medium paces, it's taken a little bit of pace out of the pitch and made it a little bit harder for Newcastle batsmen to get it away. I know with Stobo, he went for a lot of runs with extra pace. Well,
big hit. Say goodbye to that one. Hollow Seagull nearly got him over the fence. 6 more for Newcastle.
Dragged that short that time, and Sam Webber got down and just hit beautifully clean through the ball. Probably would have went a bit further had he not hit it so high, but went up with a little bit of came down with a bit of ice maybe. She went up high, but that's the way Sam Webber plays. Beautiful clean hitter of the ball. And Newcastle now move to 3 for 115 and in control of this match, you would think, at this point.
The nick there from Webber. So
He's called a wide.
Wide,
so no
yeah,
run.
no
Must
run.
have been the nick came from the keeper's gloves, I think, for the ball. He failed to grasp the ball properly. Ian Beverley, he's the gloveman today for Gordon.
Littlewood on strike. Nice work. Picking up 1, looking for 2.
Yeah, probably should have got 2 runs there, but didn't look like they ran the first single hard enough. But again, well good fielded by Gordon. Got across the field quite nicely and got it in quickly to prevent the second run.
That's the end of the 13th over. Newcastle 3 for 118. Back here, Hurstville Oval. Thanks for tuning in across the Newcastle Herald Fairfax Media Publications website. And of course, the pictures being provided by Bar TV, the multi-winning production team of Bar TV. Picked up a few awards in Newcastle over the last fortnight. When was it? Last Friday before last, up at the beautiful Merriweather Surf House. That's where the presentation night was. Come down the ground, they'll pick up one. Out here is Stobo.
Yeah, they moved Josh Poisden back to the southern end. So he's bowling into the breeze. You're hoping to get a little bit of drift here and potentially drop the ball a little bit short of the advancing Newcastle players and force them into a rash shot. Been quite impressed with him today. Pete, he's bowled a lot of control. His 2.1 overs have gone for 1 for 11, which is good figures for a leg spinner in T20 cricket.
Weber, he says, let's go out of the park. It's nearly taken the Bar TV van. Just quite.
Yeah, I think our offsider here, Josh Mason, was looking at his insurance for a sec there, checking if he'd paid up in time, and that cricket ball might cause a bit of damage. But yeah, that was.
You might have been back on the old country link to Newcastle tonight. Luckily, it was a massive hit. He wants to do it again. Didn't quite time this one. It's gone straight to the fielder. Weber's gone for 46. Newcastle 3 for 125. 4 for 125. Wow. Well, he thought I could do one better than that. 6 just couldn't come off the meat of the bat. Went straight to the fielder. 4th wicket down for Newcastle.
Well, yeah, good work by young Josh Poiston. He's bowled well, and it's hard when you just get belted out of the field with a booming 6, but then he didn't. He bowled again, and as we see here on the replay,
He wants to do it again.
what's the first one? No, sorry, that's the one. Yep. So by looking at Sam Weber, he's just the shot was on. I think it was it was short ball, and he's played with the spin, but he doesn't quite middle the ball, and it's caught there on the mid-wicket boundary. Coming out now is Joe Price from Toronto Workers. He's another good attacking, aggressive player, and he's played some good big innings in recent times for Newcastle. I think he won a rep game last year with a 50. Basically did the whole run chase himself, and showed a bit of form too in a trial game against Northern Districts, the state challenge final recently, where he scored some runs and took some wickets. So I think he'll enjoy this coming out here with the game on the line. But big wicket still to take here for Gordon. They really need to get Mark Littlewood out. 17 off 14 balls, and he's a very good batsman.
And he's on strike. Yeah, Weber just failed to pick up his half a century. Was out for 46. But pleasure to watch. Nice stroke making, as we see now. Poisden. Nice ball. Chance for a run out if he hits. Oh, needed a direct hit.
Yeah, he had the slightest bit of hesitation there, Joe Price, and I thought it was going to make him pay because there's not much margin for error, but it was a very tight single, but they got through. Good bit of fielding there from Gordon, and some more good bowling there by Josh Poiston. He's changed his delivery again there and forced Mark Littlewood into quite a measured shot. Newcastle now 4 for 126 after 14.5 overs.
Tweets are coming in. Gareth Wazick. Nice to know. Gareth listening to the coverage after calling yesterday's NRC at Parramatta. Said it's nice to come home from the beach and put the cricket on in the aircon. I wonder if he's still got that jacket on, because he was telling me yesterday he had an air conditioning jacket. Maybe that's what he means. Maybe he's sitting on the couch with his jacket and he presses the air conditioning button and he gets a little bit of a spray which trickles down his shoulder. And no doubt anything else would be a bonus for Gareth. It's great to have him on our coverage this year. Of course, Gareth play-by-play coverage for the Newcastle Rugby Union. He'll be back bigger and better next season for the Rugby Union. We know that's on the cards, and everything else in between. So stay tuned for some announcements over the next few weeks as far as what Bar TV will be providing next year. There could be a few surprises in the pipeline as well. But I better not say anything, otherwise I might be shot. It would be great to broadcast the NRL. We're doing a deal with Channel 9, Josh.
Yeah, I heard you might have been replacing Rabs. Any truth in that?
You starting to spread rumours? As every good journo does. I don't think there's any truth in that. Next year. Maybe in 50 years' time. Maybe not. I think Vossi's got Rabs covered. No change here to the scoreboard. But the thing is, Andrew Voss no longer working for Channel 9, so interesting times in commentary ranks at the top of rugby league. I mean, I know that Ray Hadley, he's told the head of sport at Channel 9 that he doesn't want to be the new head caller when Rabs does retire. Gone! Caught! He's out, yes. Big Nick there. Price is back to the pavilion for a duck. You could hear that Nick a mile away.
Yeah, he wasn't going to go, was he? He was trying to pretend that he hadn't nicked it, but it's no avail, and that's a massive wicket for Gordon. Now, especially after just removing Sam Webber, now they've got Joe Price.
And this is the wicket. Big Nick.
Yeah,
and taken.
Little under edge, and it's taken by the keeper, Ian Beverley, who he earlier dropped Sam Webber, so he'll be pretty happy to have redeemed himself somewhat. But Newcastle now 5 for 127, and their target has suddenly become a little bit more problematic. That's the beauty of T20 cricket. They say that all your skills and all the wickets, runs that happen, everything's amplified compared to what your more traditional forms of the game. A wicket can really turn a game, or a maiden over, or a couple of 6s and 4s, and suddenly the game is won by either side. So this could be a massive turning point here for Gordon. Maybe a little bit of panic starting to set in the Newcastle ranks. It's Jeff Gninnan out there, the Stockton Raymond Terrace wicketkeeper batsman. He's normally an opening batsman, but in T20 cricket today he's batting at 7. It's hard to come out when you've got runs to get. It's been impressive, this Chad Soper. His 2.4 overs have gone for 1 for 16, but I think he's just bowling that little nagging line on length, nothing too quick, and it's really dried up the runs in the last couple of overs and got a couple of key wickets.
Through for 1.
It's a leg by there.
Leg by, yeah. Ball. 16th over. Newcastle 5 for 128. Bar TV ticker scoreboard. The temperature definitely dropped when we arrive at the ground around 11:30, hovering around 30-31. But that breeze has definitely cooled the playing temperature down, that is for sure. Still high 20s, but nowhere as near as hot it was 3-4 hours ago.
James Kennedy's coming back in the attack from the northern end and comes into bowl to Mark Littlewood. Sorry, Jeff Gninnan.
Hits him down the ground. Considering a second, but the thought has ended. So 1 run. They're 5 for 128, Newcastle.
Now it's 27 runs to get for the Newcastle side with 23 balls remaining.
The St. George team making their way into the Oval for the next match, which will be coming up immediately following this one between Newcastle and Gordon. So St George take on Newcastle next. Stick around, Bar TV will be here right to the last ball of that match. Kennedy continuing.
Yeah, there's no going off to the news with Bar TVs there, Pete. We have every ball to the very end.
And it wouldn't be fair to, go off there with about 5 balls to go. So we thought we'd just, roll it through to the last ball. We're here, we're Bar TV. We've parked ourselves, set ourselves up at Homebush in the last 24 hours, and we're in no real rush to get back to Newcastle. And of course, next weekend, the cricket's on again. Shout for the LBW umpire.
So, yeah,
No.
certainly they're looking a lot more nervous now, Newcastle, than they seem to be cruising again. It's been quite interesting. These 2 innings of both these games have really mirrored each other. Like Gordon were cruising one stage, a few wickets fell around there, the 16th, 15th over, and they started to get a bit of a nervy start, and Newcastle got a lot of wickets towards the end and really restricted them. And the same is starting to happen here with Newcastle. Some really good bowling is getting Gordon back in this game.
Kennedy. Littlewood hits, he's close. This could be out. Very close. The umpire says he's not so sure, so we'll give him benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I'd like to see that one on the replay again. It was very, very close. It certainly would be going to the video umpire, or third umpire as we call it in cricket.
Well, the fans here, they're disagreeing with the umpire, Josh. There could be a riot. They believe he's out. The finger should have went up. It didn't. Stayed down. Let's see what happens now. This is Kennedy coming in for his last bowl of the over. Let's see what can come of this. A little wood on strike. I'll pick up one. So that's the end of the over. Newcastle 5 for 133.
Yeah, good over there by James Kennedy. 2 for 15. He's bowled well, bowled very tight, nagging lines. And that run out was very, very tight. It could be a telling decision in the end.
I mentioned St George make their way into their home oval, so looks like they'll take full home ground advantage into the next match of the day, which will be featuring our very own Newcastle team.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Newcastle to back up. Like Gordon, of course, backing up here too. But they played St George in the earlier game, and backing up, it's never easy. It's pretty intense out there.
It's down the wicket, Littlewood. Ball collected over here by Cullen. Axel in the deep. So Newcastle, required run rate still hovering around 7 per over, 5 wickets down. The thing is, 20 odd points away for victory. Ganinen, he says let's go high, deep, long, 6 runs. And there'll be about a 5-minute stoppage because that ball has gone flying out of the park, and it's somewhere in between the swing set.
Great shot by Jeff Ganinen. He's really released a bit of pressure for Newcastle because things were starting to get a little bit nervy there, where some good bowling from Gordon really clamped down the run rate. But that 6 is really going to relieve some pressure as Newcastle move to 5 for 141 with just 16 runs left for victory.
They found the ball.
Sorry.
Just imagine what that little girl over there on the swings was thinking when she's out for a lovely afternoon, Sunday afternoon swing, and there's balls coming hovering towards her. She's probably thinking, oh my Lord, what's going on? She Probably doesn't even know what's going to hit it. Luckily, just went wide. Sailed across the left-hand side. So it was a massive 6. And Newcastle now 5 for 141. Gunninan on strike. 8 from 6. Wicketkeeper got to go back away and field it.
Yeah, it was a nice shot by Gunninan there. He's just turned it around. He could have went for the big shot, but didn't think he needed to, which was well done in the end. He's just steered it around the corner and got 2 runs. Scored that 2 runs better than I got that out. Newcastle now 14 runs for victory.
Gunninan. Another 6 coming up. Bounces onto the track on top of the cricket nets and out of the park it goes.
Just beautiful crisp hitting from Jeff Gunninan. He's just hit right through that ball and nice high backlift, followed through. And feel a bit sorry for Josh Poiston because I think he's been bowling great today, but this last day has been quite costly. And this should get Newcastle home, you would think. Only 6 more runs for victory and still 14 balls to spare.
Yeah, well, Poiston's in his 4th over. They've knocked up 32 off him. So Newcastle closing the gap, closing the margin.
Excellent little cameo here, Pete, from Jeff Gunninan, because when he came in, there was really mounting pressure on Newcastle. These 14 off 9 balls has really released all that pressure.
This is up in the air. It might fall into deadly arms. It does. Another one taken there by Cullen, the number 8 for Gordon. So Newcastle 6 for 149.
Yeah, perhaps a little ray of hope yet for Gordon with Gunninan gone for 14 off 10 balls. Still only 6 runs to get. I think Newcastle would be home, but a wicket, that's what they needed.
This is how it happened.
Yeah, just picked the wrong ball to sweep there, and he skied it at the top edge. And well caught in the end there by Axel Cullen. Just swirling around a little bit in this breeze. And you should take those sort of catches at this level, but he's got to take them.
He was looking into the shadows and the sun, of course.
And Bailey McGill, the new batsman at the crease. So, I mean, he's only 18. He hasn't played in too many of these big sort of pressurised games. So, Gordon could still back the chances here to get another wicket or 2. It's going to be very interesting.
So Bailey McGill on strike to Kennedy from the Cardiff Bullaroo Association. Puts ball to bat as we start the...
Jeez, he's got some bright shoes there. It's like fluoro yellow boots. I know there's plenty of that going on in the National Rugby League and footy circles these days, but I haven't seen it on the cricket field.
Tell you what, Chris Mulborough, we know Chris from the Central Newcastle Butcher Boys. Just get back to that in a minute. He has got the biggest foot, but that aside, that's another story. The brightest yellow boots ever. Gotta be. Chris Mulborough. I know Matt Lantry is listening today. Of course, now Matt's done a tremendous, work over there with the Butcher Boys, and of course going on now to captain the Newcastle Knights in the New South Wales Cup, Matt Lantry. Ball finds the grass.
Run this hard here. No.
I thought for 2, just couldn't quite get there.
Good feeling there by Charlie Stobo on the boundary. Kept it to a single. 5 runs now for victory for Newcastle.
Yeah, Newcastle.
But I'm surprised about those boots, but I actually thought it might be against the rules of cricket to actually have non-white boots. I have to check that. But
yeah, could be onto something there.
Not sure if maybe it's just the laces, but yeah, never seen that before.
20 Cup. Well fielded. Nicely run too by Newcastle. So 151.
Four runs to go with 4 runs to get, 8 balls to spare.
8 balls to spare.
I'll get there
The
eventually.
gap closing. Hey?
Oh, we're getting into the 38th over, mate. I'm getting tired.
No, standing up.
Good.
Where's those chairs? Oh, he's nearly taken it.
Yeah, tough chance there by Kennedy. But with the game on the line, I would have liked to have held on to that, Gordon.
That would have been a ripper of a catch. Went straight back to him. Oh, that would have... The pain. That ball, 300 Ks fired back at him. He's still looking at it saying, are you okay? Fingers said, yep, got another few balls left in me. Then I'll put the paint away spray on it. Here he comes now. Kennedy from Gordon. McGill finds the gap. Looking for 2. He wants 2 again. But
He's a good fielder, Stobo. He's been good all day and real strong arm. Fired that in over the bails for the wicketkeeper Ian Beverley. So Newcastle were wise not to run on his arm.
so we're into the final over. 3 to tie, 4 for victory. Newcastle. Yeah. 155 is the target, Josh.
Yeah, good bowling in the last couple of overs by Gordon's really got this game back down the wire. Got it down to the wire again because probably after 17 Newcastle were cruising to victory when Gnenan smashed Poisden over the fence for 2 sixes, but since he's gotten out, the run rate slowed up again, and there's certainly an outside chance of winning this game, Gordon. A wicket or 2 here would certainly make it interesting.
What's the chances of opening up the blades and finishing it with a 4?
I suppose you've got to go for it if they
Have a crack?
the ball's in the slot, but otherwise you'd maybe just knock it around for a single or 2. Dot ball there.
Oh,
That was a good shot that went straight to the fielder. 4 off 5 required for Newcastle.
one off that occasion.
The only thing he was going to not go for the single then, but they had to go, and I think Mark Littlewood's got to be the man here for Newcastle. He's been out there now for 23 balls for 25 runs. He's the captain of the side, very experienced. I think that was wise. Get Bailey McGill up the non-striker's end, and let the captain finish the job. 3 runs required now with 4 balls to spare.
Lilywood places it brilliantly. 4 runs. As Josh mentioned, the captain finishes it off for Newcastle. Fine victory over Gordon. Newcastle been able to do it. 6 for 157.
Yeah, beautiful final shot by Mark Littlewood. He got a little bit of room and he dispatched it through the covers for 4. And finished off the job with 3 balls to spare. So good victory there by Newcastle. 4-wicket win. I think certainly they when Sam Webber came out with with Littlewood and they put together quite a good partnership was really the turning point in that game. But also I guess Gordon were always probably 20 runs short. I thought on this pitch it's a good wicket and quite a quick outfield.
Okay, this is how it ended. Brilliant shot for 4. Nobody could get across in time. Poisden was out there, but just couldn't quite get to the ball on the blistering lightning speed of the ground. The ball was going to do the final job. And in turn, Newcastle victorious over Gordon. Well, we'll take a break from Hurstville Oval and we'll come back with our second match of the afternoon in the 2020. St. George will be up against Newcastle.